Did I roll something up?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Fucking, I was embracing that with hurry back. Got some agua.
And that's what makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, it was some weird kids in my last college that I went to that I really, like, I offended them, you know what I mean? Because, like, I started seeing the gift.
It's genius, right?
Yeah, like, they're fucking genius. Like, this kid's, like,
how do I pin this
cheers. So I'm like, what the fuck is that going on? Like, this kid's, like, he's like, oh, man, chase. It's good. It's good. Like, vibrant, you know? Fucking weird, bro. Like,
dang, I can't. How do I pin this comment?
Yeah, you hold it and then it should pop up. But like, yeah, weird, like,
Okay.
yeah. The people that are just doing something different, you know what I'm saying? And
Hey,
those people, the initiators, you know what I'm saying? To change and...
Pin comment, there we go.
I love you.
Okay.
Peace, y'all. Right back. Sun is out a little bit. We still feeling encouraged to share some more, so you already know.
Okay. Okay. It's happening. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get it. Okay. This way. It's happening.
You recording?
I'm about.
Yes. So thankful from where it came from. Mama Earth, the source. Yeah. The source.
Wait.
No.
So, we've just been flowing and talking about this topic of being weird, right? Because so many people have slid in our DMs like, can I come live with y'all? And at first, like on first receipt of those messages, we're like, yo, that's weird. Like, why would you, you don't know anything about us. You just see what you think our life looks like. Which is like, what we're projecting on Instagram. But you see what you think our life looks like. And then, like, it makes you want to come, right? And so well, first we're like, that shit is weird. But then we're like, yo, we was on some weird shit. Like,
you reap what you sow.
Right.
That's what we realized. Like, we're experiencing what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? Because we had that, we understand where they were at. And so now it's happening to us. And just that feeling, we realized where our equation at the time didn't fully add up.
right.
You know?
It's not abnormal
Yeah.
to, like, see something and be attracted to it. It's not abnormal, especially in the time that we're living in, to, like, feel an attraction to something and want to do what it takes to be a part of that thing. It's not not natural to, like, how am I trying to express this? Like, it's not unnatural to want to be loved by people who you see loving each other, and to want to be accepted, and to want to be right about something, and to, like, those are very natural things. But also, sometimes the way we go about them is really weird. And weird is not a negative thing, right? We're tapping into the gene keys, and weird actually means, like in ancient times, weird means having one foot in both worlds. And so having a foot in the spiritual world and having a foot in the material world. And weird is like the grounds for you being able to be a wise elder. Like if you're weird, that's how you become a wise elder, because you've had both feet in both realms and can play it out. But also, that's like the gift of being weird. Also, weirdo can play like as a shadow, and like, it leads to the gift though. Like, it leads you to all the places that will remind you of who you are and remind you of all of the worlds that you have the ability to tap into. But sometimes, like, the weird plays out and you, like, want to live with somebody you don't know. Want to, like, want to attach to something that you feel like can save you. Or want, all out of, like, the nurturing that we deserve, the love that we deserve, but we really have to learn to give that to ourselves and make sure that the sources that we're getting things from are actually coming from pure love and nourishment. Like, we don't have to go through tough love anymore, and it's, like, weird that we want to experience tough love in order to get what it is we deserve. It's not unnatural. It's just weird, and like we're all weirdos, but we're working on it. You know what I mean? So embracing the fact that like we would want to go do something like that, accepting it, and then transmuting it. Like, okay, it's weird that I did that. Now let me like upgrade that experience. Let me upgrade. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. We got love for the weirdos. That's what we really saying. You feel me?
Yo, I know I'm weird because I used to fear being weird.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just an indicator, like, I'm a weirdo. And once I accepted that, my light was able to shine more clear, and I was able to be more understood just on that acceptance.
Right. So that now you're not a weirdo because you're understood by many.
Yeah.
You feel me? And the many that is only divine for you to be understood by. You know what I mean? So just having a greater perspective of like the weird shit that's going on with people asking us to live with us and people asking us like, can they join and all that stuff, you know, it's like, yo, we were really like that at a point with some old energy. You know what I mean? We really wanted to join what they had going on, but it's just like man, when we start understanding ourselves on a deeper level, like understanding like, yo, we don't even know what's going on and we just want to be a part of something. You know what I mean? Like that's when you learn from that. When you start seeing that, then you'll understand like who you are and what you want to create for yourself. You know what I mean? What type of, whatever you want to be a part of, you start creating that for yourself.
Right, and then you be attracting other people who've been creating that for themselves too.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And that's why it's real important what the foundation of where you're putting your energy is too. Because if the foundation is up and you're putting your energy on it, then you're going to be doing some weird shit.
If you're building on a shitty foundation, that's just going to fall.
Right. And you're going to be looking at it like, oh. But yeah, you know, just really embracing.
Just being real also, like, we learned and now we're just analyzing these things about ourselves and redefining for our own understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely. And I feel like that's part of the process of embracing your weirdo.
Right. Yeah, and so like really understanding, like you said, understanding and embracing and accepting. Like that's why it's not bad weird. We don't feel bad weird that people want to like come live with us. Like we feel grateful that y'all feel that energy. Like we still building a place for y'all to come live. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Like to anybody expressing energy to want something that we don't really know what it's about yet. You know, like you want to, if you have the interest, if you want to come live with us, but you don't know that we don't have a house for you to live in or a home for you to live in yet. You know what I mean? There's a misalignment there.
That's kind of weird. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
It's not negative though.
I don't think it's like the act of them acting, the act of them doing that, reaching out is weird.
Right.
I think it's just that the way that formulated in our reality activated that within ourselves to feel that way, and just because we reaped this.
Right, because we did, we put that energy out at a time.
And I feel objectively what I'm getting from this is just like there's ways to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately the best way is just acceptance of the way that you express yourself.
Right.
That may be weird, but express it.
Right. And so that's again like it's great. And for anybody that did reach out to us, like as I said, we appreciate that, and it's great that you even were comfortable being weird enough with yourself. You know what I mean? To like speak about what you want, to speak into existence what you want. So now that we got that out of the way, hi, I'm Majesty, and this is Lee, and this is me. And we'd be honored to continue to get to know y'all and to build with y'all and to be honest with y'all, to let y'all into, you know, the transparency of what we're doing and where we're at, because like, you know, we don't want to be not even we don't want to. We are just happening. You know what I mean? And we are grateful that y'all are happening with us. And, you know, it's plain as like that. Yeah. Thanks for being weird, y'all.
Yeah, just embracing that fractal part of ourselves, you know what I mean, that we're experiencing. And it's coming through mediums that we just like, we're like, yo, that is weird. And we identify it because we like, wow, we remember that part of ourselves.
It takes one to know one.
Yeah, it takes one to know one, exactly. You know, you're like, wow. Like,
weird is like.
Right, and like, that shit is actually weird because, you know, there's an upgrade. You start becoming a leader. You start leading yourself. You start leading all of yourselves to restoration. You know what I mean? Rejuvenation, replenishing energy. You know what I mean? Energy that's for your soul. We start feeding your soul, basically. Then on that note, you know what I mean? You like, oh, that's some weird shit that's happening over there. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just bottom line, off rip. You're like, damn, like it don't gotta be like that. Like nothing has to be anyway. You know what I mean? Like shit, this don't gotta be a cup. You know what I mean? It's just get the fuck. You know, it's just like, man, like it's a lot of weird stuff that's happening in my reality, but it just reminded me to embrace that weirdness because that's how I'm gonna unlock the gift frequency of that weirdness. You know what I mean? Like it's some great things in store. Just staying positive that, you know what I mean, it's some positive reaction that's gonna come out of that weird situation. You know what I mean? And that's the faith and the optimism that we on right now. Cause man, it's shit does get weird. Like, you know what I mean? You like, oh nigga. This one man that own all of this fruit out in this a trillion acres is one nigga.
Nah, but right back to like, you know what I mean? Just that's us, you know what I mean? It's all us, and like it's just us reminding ourselves. We're always reminding ourselves, and we're always getting back what we put in another now moment. And so, like in previous now moment, we needed something that was shifting our DNA and shifting our attention from where it was. And where that attention and energy went is now coming around full circle with our pure hearts that were in it, even when we were being weird. You know, like, so now we're getting that weird energy right back, but because it was done with pure hearts and pure intentions, when we were being weird, like, you know, like, it's just like the weirdo is the true expression of yourself. So it's like whatever you're expressing, like it's okay, be weird, express that because eventually it's going to lead you to expression that doesn't feel weird for you. It might be weird to other people, but it won't be like weird for you, and you'll be able to tell the difference between you and you're being weird with yourself. I like you too.
Yo, we came a long way, y'all. You feel me? And like, don't downplay the progress. Don't downplay like. I'm not telling y'all what not to do, but just you know what I mean. If you tap in, if you pay attention, there's a lot of progress that has been made, and that is still part of this development of us coming out like whole natural selves. You know what I mean? We out here getting grounded in nature. You know what I mean? That's just a step. Just being
grounded. Right, nature. Like, I really want to get into that. Like, every time we say nature, like everything is nature. Like, we are not in more nature than you. Like, we're just in a different piece of nature that's expressing itself different. Like, we may be closer to the source because the source is what created us, right? The same balance. Like, we may be closer to things that were created by the same thing we were created by, more so than things that we created. So, like, in some environments, it's still nature, but environments like cities, where it's a lot of buildings, a lot of trains, a lot of movements, a lot of stuff going on, that's still nature, but it has just been filtered through us. It's the piece of nature that has been created by man, which is, you know, through the mind, which is a replication. Like, we are, again, we were trying to mimic nature, and now we're remembering that we are nature. So in trying to mimic nature, we try to make ways that we can transport places. We try to make ways that we can communicate with each other. We try to make ways that we can wrap things up. But when we remember that we are nature, no matter where we at, like, we're communicating, we're traveling, we're wrapping shit up, just like how nature wraps us up, you know? And so remembering that we are nature, no matter where you're at, it's nature. You are nature, so you can't not be, you know, like, don't separate yourself in nature. Like, you can't get back to nature. You can't go back somewhere. You are that, you know what I mean? You can get in more alignment in the present moment with what it is that you truly want. If you want, like, more nutrient-dense oxygen, if you want more, you know what I mean? There's other things that come with the type of environment that we're in, but we're not in more nature.
Right. That's how it happens. how you get more natural is you take action on where you're at now. How you make your environment more natural. You have like
remember that.
Yes, remember that it's nature. Like what's nature is that like you have this because that's where alchemy comes in. Salah. Yeah, like that's where alchemy comes in because you start understanding that I can alchemize the energy within this product. You know what I mean? I can speak love into this so that it'll be more love going into this food. Like the alchemy is big. You know what I mean? So wow. We have natural ways of creating heat. But yeah, like it's all nature. It's all nature. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody tell you different.
But like I have to do it. You know what I mean? Like
right. So weird shit always going on.
Everyone that needs some love. There you go. I love myself.
Oh, you need some love? One day. We just like really in tune with our nature, like our natural selves. You know what I mean? Like nature is so beautiful. Nature is so beautiful, and when you find the nature in everything, you know what I mean? You find balance in everything.
Everything symbols showing you the same balance, just different symbols of that.
Everything, all the symbolism, yes. The symbolism in everything that's around you, in your subconscious. I mean, butterflies, like the birds tweeting, all language, all type of whatnot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just tap into what nature means to you. You know what I mean? And you'll be there.
And that's when
You'll be there, surely.
symbols are going to come regardless of what environment you're in. Right, we're in this environment, and shout out to Dukulu again, because he had brought this to our attention. Like, because we're in this environment, the symbols are coming directly through animals, directly through the plants, directly through what we're eating. Like, when we're in a more condensed environment, we were still getting so many messages, but it was just like through what was on billboards, what was on our ads, through just numbers of places that we're driving by and seeing. We're not really driving past that many things, so those same messages of like knowing we're on the right path and knowing we're protected are presenting themselves in the form of these animals, in the forms of all this abundance around us. Like, you know what I mean? This is a pretty great fucking sign to me. Like,
the messages to self transforms into the frequency that we're at.
right.
And that's through nature, and it's just so clear. There's no filters, and it's really tough to point the finger when like an animal does something. You know what I'm saying? But like when these messages and light codes are being sent to you in a more populated environment where you're not aware of yourself, then it's probably going to come through as other people and things like that. And it's just easier to point the finger, point the blame, and believe in separation.
Right.
But that's why we love nature, and it's just clear. Source.
Yeah. We're not no different than y'all actually. You know what I mean? We're one with y'all because like we are just closer, you know, we're just a little closer. That's all, to the source. That's all. We are one with y'all because we know that it's levels. It's levels to nature, and you know, we just on a certain level that is projecting a heavenly frequency. You know what I mean? Y'all are here too. Y'all get this whole view. I get it all too. You know what I mean? But just know that nature is raw. You know what I mean? Nature is real. Like nature will show you yourself.
Right.
Like.
Right, it's real easy. It's so easy, especially from the way that the energy looks. Like, I went to school for social media, I went to school for marketing. I went to school for marketing, but I worked in social media. So, like, fuck yeah, the Instagram's gonna look nice. Y'all see Unique on the graphics? Like, duh, the Instagram's gonna look banging. Like, duh, that shit's gonna look cool. But, like, there's more than that. You know what I mean? There's so much more than that. Just like if you were buying from any of these companies or corporations, like you're seeing the finished product, you don't know what type of energy went into what they were doing, whether positive or negative, light or dark,
what energies they had to alchemize with that
exactly
or whatever the product is.
Exactly. And so we're willing to continue to share what we're rooted in, where we're grounded in, what our foundation is, what our morals are, what our principles are. we're more than willing to continue to share.
Cause the vibes don't lie.
You guys the ingredients, you know what I'm saying? Like when y'all make that transition into plant-based, whatever y'all do, like you start reading the ingredients. You start looking into what you're exchanging energy with, and so we feel like I feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm willing to show my ingredients.
Right.
You know, I have nothing to hide, and I understand transparency is what got me here. You know what I'm saying? What got me to this mind state and this state of just bliss is just being transparent, being open, clear with my intentions, and clear with my intent.
Right.
That's purpose. That's just purpose. I mean, not only knowing what to be, but knowing why to be.
Right.
Knowing where to be. That's awareness. When to be. You know what I mean? That's key. And the more you accept and reveal yourself will be revealed. You know what I mean?
Claro.
You know what I mean? The more yourself will be revealed. And we just come here to just be pure examples of the real and continuously.
Of really being yourself.
Right.
Like, pure examples of really being yourself. Like,
Nothing more, nothing less.
Right, literally.
So if y'all hear anything less, you know what I mean? Holla at us. You know what I mean?
Or don't, it's okay.
Or don't.
We good. We like,
Yeah. So,
like, if you hear any more or any less, you know what I mean? Both of those things are filtered through the same. Like, criticism and praise are both filtered through the same channel, or the healthy way is for them to both be filtered through the same channel, because it's all you. So anything negative that's being said about you or reflecting about you, that's a piece of yourself that is seeing how you're going to respond. That's seeing if that is enough to trigger you. That is the shadow that still needs to be remembering that it's light. And anything that's too gassed up, you know what I mean? Like, we're so grateful for the love and support, and we're going to continue to do that, but we can't get gassed off our head of like, oh my gosh, people love us so much, because we're actually like, we have a focus, you know what I mean? We have a purpose, and that's just extra love, that's extra support, that's the pieces of ourselves that are reminding us of how much they love us, and we're so grateful for that. But we also just got to remember, like, this has to be self-sustained. This has to be internally sustained. So if nobody's telling me I'm great and nobody's telling me I suck, I know who I am and I know what I am, regardless of the outside. And I take both of those and be like, okay, what am I learning about myself from this? Okay, people are responding this way based on what I'm doing. What is that energy, and what am I learning from this? And how do I make this work for me?
Right, solution-based. Because it's all you at the end of the day. Like, it has to work out for you. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a main reason a main conclusion that I came to, Majesty and I both came to, as far as working for any other system or any other body. Like, what working for any other system or any other body doesn't necessarily work for us. You know, what works for us works for us. You feel me? Like, and we work for us. Right. So, you know, and we're open to many things working for us, many tools and you know, brilliant minds, you know what I mean, to work with us, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many possibilities, but definitely in the light of a gift frequency, you know what I mean? Definitely in the light of a positive aspect of myself, because it's all us.
Right. You know what I mean? And we're grateful for the negative aspects too, because
because I feel like it's the light.
Right.
It's the light. Everything that we receive, everything that comes to us is divine, and it's the light just being symbolized or portrayed at all the different frequencies, infinite potential. You know what I'm saying? And so just realizing that even when there is those emotional things or whatever from some light, that some symbols, you know what I'm saying? Just realizing that it is light.
It's all light,
And it's just teaching you something.
Right.
Like you said, there's no difference between the negative and the positive. It's teaching you the same thing.
Right.
It's showing you yourself.
Right. Right. So you can therefore take the negatives and view them, not even viewing them as positives, you know what I mean? It's like dropping the connotations we have to negative and positive overall, and just taking every experience as exactly what it is and making it work for you. Like total acceptance, you know? Like, because you can take it and be like, oh, this shit is negative, but I'm going to turn it into a positive. Or you can literally be like, this is exactly what's happening. Okay, how do we make it work for us?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, solution.
What are we going to do about it?
Solution-based.
Okay, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. That's how you feel if you want to, like, come at us that way. That's how you feel. But, like, what now? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, after we express ourselves and we learn something,
right.
what now?
Right.
And
that's when you start taking responsibility of yourself. Like, you start taking responsibility of, you know, your life. You know what I mean? You really start taking control, because when you have solutions, then the pieces that are broken may not necessarily need to get fixed. You know what I mean? The pieces that are,
because they're not really
broken
and fixed.
Right. Yeah, they're not really broken. They just are. Yeah, they're just serving their purpose. You know what I mean? Like, so.
I get it. Jinx, we got push-ups.
Oh, shit.
Me and Meek be jinxing all the time, so we decided we're gonna do push-ups whenever we jinx, so we can get these jungle bodies. Keep them right. Keep them right tight.
Keep them up to date.
Take it.
No lacking. I'll do some push-ups with y'all. I got empty on.
Me too. I gotta release.
Open up
I've been drinking so much water. Open up the river. I've been drinking so much water. Like, literally got pee. It's like so tough to hold it. Like, really almost went to the bathroom about to pee on myself.
How many we got?
That intuitive. Whatever you feeling, you're good. That's how I've been thinking about it. Like, the intention I'd be putting into the water, like when I release it and when it filters through my body.
Right.
Like, that's what I'd be thinking.
Right.
That water is just going through and healing. And this
right through.
Peaceful transition.
Right.
Love y'all too.
Peace, Dev. Much love, bro.
I felt great. A nice 7 push-ups. Like, yo, make sure y'all get y'all exercise on. I mean, make sure y'all stretch out. Let this energy flow. You know what I mean? It want to come through you. God want to come through you. He want to create through you. You know what I mean?
Or she, or it, or they, or them, or you.
Whatever you.
Don't like different things in your habits and your patterns of daily cycles things. You know what I'm saying? Like, just bust out 10 push-ups.
Right.
Just
try
random,
some different
and
shit.
then see how you feel.
Movement is so important.
Right.
Especially.
Open it up.
Okay. Astrogalactic update.
What is it?
So it's Mercury retrograde right now, right? In Scorpio. And so Scorpio is this sex, death, transformation, rebirth energy. And it's just like everything that's been happening astrologically has been a buildup of energy. Like if y'all watch, like, you know, when you see on your Explore page, you see on your timeline, like, all of these angel messages and signs, and they're all saying, like, things are coming, opportunities are happening, and they've all been saying, like, trust the journey, trust the process, just even things like that. Like, it's all of that is dying and transforming into, like, the next level. So whatever is, like, not supposed to come with us to the next experience of this earth that's happening is shedding away, and it's just old pieces of ourselves. You know what I mean? But they have to be faced. Like, so this is work that we've been doing in our DNA. And Mercury retrograde is this, like, internal work. And so it's like rethinking, redoing, reminding, remembering, realigning, and it's just so potent. Like, so tomorrow is the 11/11 portal, and Mercury is going to be conjunct the sun, which means it's going to be on top of the sun. And they said from some places in the States, you can probably see it, and I think down here too. Like, it looks like a little black dot in front of the sun. But basically, that just means our minds are being in light is shining on every single piece of our mind right now, and the darkest piece of our minds. It's Scorpio is like the depths. So light is being shined on the darkest pieces of our mind, and it's about how we respond to what that looks like and feels like for us. Like how you respond to the darkness of yourself, and how you love that the darkness is simply the light. Remembering that it is the light, and that it is you, and that you are just having this human experience of God, and like being a vessel. So that's like just little things we have the opportunities to remember, and it's like the ways that we get in our own way are being brought up through how it looks like others could get in our way, and we're just learning like those things are tools now. Those things are gifts, like even. I was looking at mad Pinterest and like getting, like just taking in all too much information at one time, just overeating and not allowing the energy to like digest. And I started feeling like guilty about it too. And it's like, dang, like I'm over consuming. And that's how you could get with food, you know what I mean? You can like want to eat so much and then you start feeling guilty about you overeating, but you're still in the habit of like consuming. And then I had to remember that it's a gift that my mind moves this fast and takes in that much info and like turns it into something and can put it out. And now it's just about like, what do I, it's like, what do I want to focus that on? Like taking that from like all the places it could be to focusing on directly what it is that I want, and we know what the what is because it's in our blueprint and we've been doing the work to discover the what, Like, that's the opportunity that's present for all of us at this very moment.
Guys, I'm thankful for this Mercury retrograde because it's revealing ourselves, the darkest parts and like the deep depths, and what's great is that we are perfectly in position to align ourselves with prosperity, more unity, more communion, more ceremonies, more just graceful movements, and I'm just thankful.
Yeah.
I'm thankful, y'all see the love. More gatito, y'all see what's going on, you feel me? And it's so much more. There's so much more we have, to share.
Oh, yeah.
It's happening.
Hey, Astrid. It's happening.
I gotta get y'all nature bars, though. I don't know.
Nurture bars?
The nurture bars.
Soap bars?
Yeah, I gotta get y'all nurture bars. Them shits is like that. Shouts out to Holy Haven, man. I don't know what y'all, but it's all us. It's all us. It's all love. It's all God. But yeah, them nurture bars, they are fire. Like,
you really feel the love, bro.
I gotta tap in. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please tap in. The Holy Haven.
The skin cells love it. It's just so good for your body.
Yes. Got so much love for y'all. If y'all ever get a chance to come out to Costa Rica, y'all know where to go. You feel me? Boom, boom. It's all love. Like, it's all love. All that other stuff that's going on, stay attention and pay attention.
Yes, because we get the same experience that we had just by going to Holy Haven.
Right.
And coming up to Bolita, So, it's possible. Very, very
possible. And not
possible.
even the same experience we had. You're not your experience that the jungle has waiting for you. There's a divine, sacred experience for you waiting in the jungle if you accept it. For real though, like whatever, it's already happening to you. Your divine sacred experience is happening to you. But if you're feeling called to come somewhere that has the space for you to be yourself, Holy Haven has that space for you.
Alright, tap in, we hashtagged them a lot, pardon me, bro. We hashtagged Holy Haven a lot.
Cosmic Journey
and Nurture Mother, you feel me? They got Holy Haven. That joint is just so prosperous. It's just a beautiful little environment, pass through to come through and just see God within you, from others, It's the whole wonderful experience. So
great space. It's a great space just to
stay tuned.
It's a great space. If you're serious about seeing yourself and connecting with nature, that's a great place to start.
And there's a lot happening, yo. Like, opportunities are available for those of us who need them. Like, all the opportunities that each of us need are directly available to us. Like, whatever opportunity you need in this very moment is available to you right now. It's happening to you right now. And if you choose to see it as such, it can happen to you in a very prosperous way. And, you know, like, no matter what, everything can be looked at as prosperity, and it's having exactly what you need if you choose to look at it as such. Even things that can be seen as something painful or the worst thing can be exactly what, right. And it's like, it's a seed, you know, literally.
Gotta be present to see it. Do we have this music in our head, man? Like some real piece of... Hold up. While I'm talking, let me show y'all something. So I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Shouts out to me and Manu Suno, you know what I mean? Put this right in there. You know what I mean? Yeah, what y'all know about it? Hey.
What did you say? What about the river?
Gotta open the river.
Oh, yeah.
Let the river
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah, open the river.
Let the water flow.
Open the river. Yeah, I got some water to deliver. Empty in my cup, or so what? Whatever I said, we going up. Know what? That is, let me see. Grateful to have crossed paths with the true essence of each of you. I'm thankful for you too. You know what I mean? Like, we are only reflections of you. You know what I mean? And also when it comes to divine masculine, you know what I mean, we represent for them as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of I would say you would call it beta type, you know what I mean? What's that? Beta type, you know what I mean, characters that call themselves alpha males. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They become
vibes,
the followers of what is so-called another alpha or whatever the case may be. But here you see some great leaders, you know what I mean? Simply, we lead ourselves to prosperity, to grace, to love. We just
loving
sharing.
yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Just loving yourself.
And I told them we are representatives of the divine masculine.
Oh, I had to download while I was peeing, or rather upgrade while I was peeing. Well, I was thinking about credit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, credit and credibility, and like good credit, bad credit, like what it means to be credible. You know what I mean? I guess, go ahead.
And that like brings into my head that, okay, like if we have bad credit, what can we do about it now? And it's just being credible, being moral, being a good person, and that builds your credit. And that's how you're going to build your credit score. And that's how I feel like the credit score is, if you play that game, you tune into that reality, that's how it's physically manifested of your uncredibility. You know what I'm saying? Maybe too much relying on the money and not the feeling behind the money. You know what I'm saying?
Your credit is your responsibility to, or your consistency, frequency to your responsibilities. So like, if you know, like in standard credit, the way we understand it, it's like if you have responsibilities, you have bills, you have abilities, and your frequency in which you pay them with and the amount in which you pay them with determines how credible you are, and that determines the score of your credit. And so it's like taking that, applying that to here now, you know what I mean? Same thing, like when we do the thing that we want, like, you know what I mean? When we do the thing we want, when we be the thing we want to be more frequently, like, the consistency is our credibility of being ourselves, you know what I mean? And we have good credit, you know what I mean? Like, regardless of how our credit didn't play out well, it may not have played out well. Some of our credits may be challenged depending on where we are, because that's not, so we can't be credible in that place, you know what I mean? Or we weren't credible with ourselves. Matter of fact, like, you know what I mean? We didn't have good credit with ourselves. We were not being credible. We were saying things that weren't true. We were being things that weren't us. You know, just by way of nature, we had to experience those things, but it happened, and that reflects as bad credit easy, and even great credit in certain systems. Like, what are you credible for, and who are you crediting? Like, you know what I mean? Who are you accrediting? Because when you have a credit, like if you got a credit at a store, you can go to that store and use that credit to get what you want. You don't have to pay, you don't have to use their form of currency. You can go and exchange these credits for what it is that you want. Like at school, you pay for a certain amount of credits that you, I don't know, all these just credit things are coming into my understanding like right now, so.
Hey, we got infinite credits. Because we're infinite beings, it's only going to match our souls, our actual beings. And being here right now, being where you are, is empowering our food for our soul. You know what I mean? Shit, it's just charging everything up.
Well, I'm so grateful for peaceful transitions. Because speaking of being charged up, like again, we are right now. We've been granted the wonderful opportunity to care for this beautiful, beautiful jungle space, this sacred jungle space, and our time here was amazing, and it is time for transition, and we are such in like allowance of what's happening, like so accepting everything that's happening for us and making it work for us, and it's just such a time for transformation and growth for all of us. So we love y'all so much. We're happy. We're grateful to see like everybody growing and everybody learning more and everybody applying, and like us remembering how to do that better and be that better, and like remembering to like love ourselves more, and remembering like, you know, just remembering. That's the perfect retrograde thing. Like really remembering, like all the way, and like remembering the pieces of yourself back together, like. Or remembering them how you want to, just in a new way, like redo that shit.
Remember, and reconnect it.
Yes, all of the cells that we dismember, all of the cells that we purge out of our vessels from, you know what I mean, in trauma situations or just self-conflict, you know what I mean, like really remember, reassemble those cells, replenish, you know what I mean, rejoice in the name of just grace that you can replenish those cells, that it's never too late, that right now we can change and form something great, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just remember that. Remember that you can.
And that's the thing, right? Okay, so speaking about the source, right? Because Tron said you should give credit to the source in which you got the information to leave in the first place. But just being honest about the source, right? We are all resources. We are literally at this time to remember that we are all resources, and we're grateful for every single resource that we've had ever. You know what I mean? Like some resources we can look at as dark, some resources we can look at as light. There's a light to every dark, and there's a dark to every light, and it all leads you back to you. You know? So we're grateful for every expression of that, every single one, everybody.
And also just presence, we're always being shown ourselves, but I feel like the message or just the action of what this knowledge is just be present, you know what I'm saying, and acceptance of that moment. And at the time we were giving credit, you know what I'm saying, we was doing that. So actually given at the time when I was tuning into it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like now I'm not tuning into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm being present with myself and applying the knowledge.
It was given at the time where we were separate from the oneness.
Right.
It was given the credit that we, not even credit.
Let's remember that like everything's nature, right? Everything's just simply playing itself out. Like this isn't even like this already happened. This is just playing itself out. And so right back, yeah, you know. Hold on, let me find the best way. I don't know where to put this up. Cause yeah, no, I just am not ignoring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not ignoring any of the. Which actually, we don't. They okay. I'm getting into comments. I'm getting into addressing the comments, but they said I'm really looking into accepting new members, and like we are not like we are accepting of everything. You know what I mean? Like whatever happens, happens. Like if someone is supposed to be here, it's so, like we're really friends. That like we fucking like each other and we think our ideas are great, you know what I mean? We think we're super creative together and we love nature and we think that nobody should have power over our minds or force us to have to say or be or do anything, and we just want to have fucking fun. Like we just like having fun together.
We just taking back to when some niggas was kids, you know what I mean? Like taking it back to tag your it. You know what I mean? Like, what? Why can't we play? You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna tell us that our fun has to be like this?
The principal. The principal. What is the principal? Who is the principal? He said, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck I am is the rules.
Right.
What movie is that?
Yo,
what's that shit called? It's like The Town.
I don't know. So yo, real talk. Yo, Tron, this shit is like really, it's like, oh man, I understand. Like that's the thing. I understand you, brother. You know, like it's just like, bruh.
You do. We thank you so much.
Yes,
like we're so grateful for you.
Bro,
thank you. Like real, like no bullshit. Like we, it's all love. Like it's literally all love.
Yeah, like we never said we don't. We never said we don't love everybody. You know what I mean? Like we love like literally.
Like how can you be mad that we say we love it? No, you're not even mad that we know it's love right back. Like it's love right back. So right back to the present moment. I'm grateful for that release. I'm grateful for y'all for being able to have that exchange and to remember to have fun and that everything doesn't have to be that serious.
Where's
it's okay,
the source?
Okay, let's stop reading the comments because that's a whole different, we get into a different world.
Right there.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that exchange. Right.
What?
Oh, so like let's stop being weird. That's back to the point. Not stop being weird, but embracing the weirdo. Like it's okay, we're all weird. Like it's weird that, you know what I mean? Like that shit is weird, but it's okay. Like we're all weird, and we're grateful for being sparked to be weird from every weirdo in our life. You know what I mean? Like my mom taught me mad shit. My dad taught me mad shit. Like my family, like everybody taught me mad shit. Like if I was to devote my energy to one thing that reminded me of something I know, because everything is actually outside of me, and everything is a reminder of how I'm treating myself. So when somebody is speaking to me away and treating me away, it's a reminder of how I speak to myself. And when I don't want to be spoken to a certain way or receive myself a certain way, I'm shifting the vibration and talking to myself different, creating a different conversation with myself, speaking to different people.
Facts. Like, my 6th grade teacher told me a lot of shit, you know? Like, but he was not Jesus. He was a humble man, actually. He'd tell you his first last. You know what I mean? Like he's on site, you know what I mean? Like, tell you right out the textbook. You know what I mean? He taught me some shit, but I'm not praising this man for influencing my growth. Like, I'm thankful that someone was there.
Right.
Like, what?
Like, gratitude is gratitude. Is gratitude enough? Is the point for all of us to get back to love and get back to balance? Or is it for, like, one... like, and I'm grateful for all the energy that sent us, like, that have, right.
Save a lot of power.
Right.
Save a lot of power. Because, you know, we've been creating today. We've been creating great understandings within us and the collective.
Yes.
You know, and but we are coming to understand that there's a lot of weird and strange things going on between ownership of men. Like, you know what I mean? Like nobody owns anything.
You know what I mean? Like we are simply a pure example of what real love. I'm talking about that real love.
But like again, like right back though, we all are. We all are. Even if it looks like it's fake love, it's really real love. Like everything is just a seed. Like you gotta look at everything as a gift. That's all we do is look at everything from even till neutral position. Everything is a gift. And if you choose to look at it as such, everything is and it's about how you value what you value.
What we say? It is what you believe because it is what it is because of what you believe.
Okay, right. It is what it is because of what you believe. But no. It is what you believe it is. It is what you believe it is. But it is what it is because of what you believe. So like, it is what you believe it is. If you believe that you're living the most righteous life and what you're doing is the only way to live it and the ultimate thing and you have all the answers, then that's what it is. But it's only that way. It's that way because of what you believe. So what is truly underlying, what you truly believe about yourself creates what it is. And when you come to like continued levels of clarity in our evolution, shit gets clear what it is. You know, sabotage that look like love makes itself clear and shows itself. You know what I mean? Like cowardice shows itself. And it's okay because we're all expressing these things, we're all experiencing these things. But to say that we're God and then not embrace the humanity that we are, but literally every day be showing how human we are, showing how much we fuck up, showing how prideful we think we are, showing how we think we know all the answers when there's so much more. And none of us, like, we are literally chose to have this human experience, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so grateful to be human and know that I'm a human expression of God and human expression of the whole piece, human expression of the whole source, a fractal of source, a fractal of the direct.
We come from the same place.
At all of us.
Like, the source is not where, I know what the source is, but the source is talking greasy. Like, it's not the source. The source don't speak English, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? I'm thankful.
Right, like I hear the source in everything, in everybody. Like I hear the source in every single thing that's happening.
Everywhere, like, but nature is not speaking English like I own this. You know what I mean? This is my fruit. Like, no, the source is like, yo, you know what I mean? Pay attention.
Right, that's it. Pay attention.
All you, right?
What are you paying attention to? I'm gonna give it right back to you. What you gonna pay me for? I'm gonna give it to you.
Pay attention.
So we're paying for this home, this space, this land. We're so grateful, y'all.
Yes.
It's all coming together. Everything's coming into alignment. We're so grateful for the support. You know, it's cool to like travel and to do a lot of stuff, and we really want to experience a lot of parts of the world, but we are all focused on this energy of like home and family right now, and creating a space and creating community, right? Being real focused on intimacy and nutrition and
look at my dogs, y'all. Look at my toes.
Design and art, and it's happening. And so we're just grateful for the continued support and energy, and we want to create a space where like, you know, like it has to be balanced. It's balanced, but if it's a space where you're supposed to be, you'll be there. You know what I mean? A space where you can come visit, a space where we can host you, a space where you can experience. You know, like people, you just want to know what it's like. You know what I mean? Like we deserve to know what it's like. We deserve to
spark them like a quantum leap.
You know? And it's not us that's sparking you. We just have the opportunity to present you. You know what I mean? Like we just share. We're just sharing. It's just a possibility. You can try it if you want to. You can do whatever you want. If you want, you could come through. If you want, you can show love. You know what I mean? We gonna show love back. If not, it's cool. Like you do whatever you want.
But it's like
you gotta get through it. Right. You gotta get through it, and you're gonna grow through it regardless. Only experiencing yourself.
We got water.
It's only experiencing yourself.
I'm so grateful. Peaceful transitions, releases.
Enrichment. Oh man.
You know, I'm grateful for this Taurus full moon is lighting everything up. I'm a Taurus sun. So everything's being illuminated right now. Scorpio is the opposite energy. So like all my like deep dark things are coming up, and I'm just so grateful for these peaceful transitions and how we are embracing all of this.
Right.
I love it. I'm so grateful. It's so abundant. It's so prosperous.
No, it's so healthy to gain a healthy perspective on like the matter at hand. The matter at hand is like there's opposing energy, and there's energy that's going with nature, and there's energy that's going against nature.
Nope, because everything's nature. It's things that have more resistance and things that have least resistance.
Okay, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. There are things that have more resistance, and there are things that have least resistance.
Right. If you want to create an experience, if you believe that you have to resist in order to succeed, if you believe that you have to abstain in order to be saved, if you believe that you have to hurt in order to be loved, then that is what your reality will create, and it is what it is. Because of what you believe, but what you believe, you know, what we said, like, you know, and so then once we understand that, once we understand all the ways that we really did believe those things, like, it sucks when you first find out you believe that shit. You want to blame everybody, like, fuck you, you made me believe this shit. You made me believe that. You did this to me, you didn't. But no, like, we created this for ourselves to remember, and that's just an experience that remembers us. You spark yourself. You created something outside of you to light you up. You lit your own candles. Y'all seen Interstellar? Like, nigga, that was herself. Her father is herself and doing things for her. Like, that was you. Like, you put people in your way. You put teachers and experiences. You are your own path. You know what I mean? And you can choose to take other paths to get you to your path.
It'll get you right back.
It's cool. It'll get you right back to you eventually. Eventually, like,
you know. when you don't deal with you initially, you'll be right back to you, but it'll be disturbed because of the like it's like you having a clogged stomach and you just keep eating. You ain't shit for 3 days or some wild crazy shit going on.
Right, when you overdigest shit, when you watch 50 YouTube videos in a row about the same person talking about the same shit, that's overdigestion. You're overeating and you become that thing.
A nigga talking about the same shit.
Like, and we're like, you know what I mean? You're thankful, but that's like when you find your favorite food. You found a new spot and you love the fuck out of that food. You go to the same spot, you eat that shit every day. You order it, you try to figure out how to make that shit at home. When you at work, you think about getting that shit. No matter where you at, you're like, damn, I just want this fucking, like, that shit tastes so good. I can't wait to have it again. I love how this makes me feel. I love the confidence that I love, whatever. You know what I mean? You love that feeling that doing that thing makes you do, so you keep doing that thing. And then, you know, you could overindulge in anything.
Yeah. We still do that, just at a frequency that's better for our experience. Like, we align our experience with how we are to benefit us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in one light it could be an addictive personality, in another light it could be discipline to a goal.
Facts, because we're right now, like, we could be easily overindulging in what we sharing with y'all, but we know that it's a gift within sharing knowledge and sharing like pure wisdom, sharing like infinite ability and love, like real love. You know what I mean? Transparency, like letting y'all know what life is really like, because like it's a lot of dogma going on out here, like dogma. You know what I mean? Like, and that shit, like, that is very confusing to any plant, any human that's growing. You feel me? Any plant that's receiving light, that's confusing. You know what I mean? Like, you manipulating shit, and it's all manipulation, but it's all nature.
That's why you need that divine feminine balance, the divine masculine, because when you just go straight logic and straight, this makes sense.
2 minutes.
If you go based on what makes sense, a lot of shit makes sense depending on which of your senses are activated. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, you got 5 senses or 12 senses or 2 senses, or like how your senses operating. Can you really smell people? Like, I can smell people through my skin. No bullshit. So, you know, like, what type of senses are you making?
Yeah.
What type of sense are you making?
Right.
What type of money are you creating?
Right.
Okay. Then live about to end.
Yo, y'all see we love ourselves, you know what I mean? And this is only a portion of what we showing y'all, you know what I mean? And it's all real. Ain't nothing scripted, none of that. So just stay tuned, and
it's all love.
It's all love. It's all so grateful.
Right back to the present moment. No, let's move on.
Right. Right back.
Yo, love y'all. And you already know. Stay golden. Nice.
That's good.